Good Monday afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Mondays with Mason. I'm Mason Tepesky, your host here with you. And I am so happy today that we're going to get to finally have the chance to talk about this topic. We almost didn't get the chance to talk about this topic today because this topic almost got ruined because the team I'm going to talk about almost lost, unfortunately, Saturday night. It's a college, of course, and they're doing real well. They have a great first year head coach. I think you guys kind of know where I'm headed with this, but it was an interesting game to say the least Saturday night. I watched College Game Day this week, and that's how I thought of this topic. I kind of knew I wanted to do this topic for some time because it's been one of the greatest stories in the sports world, and now it's going to kick off big time because the season is going to get a lot more interesting for them, which I'm going to get into here in a minute. So, yeah, for sure, it's definitely been a great start for them. I'm very happy to see this team play as well as they have. And without further ado, I'm going to tell you guys the topic if you haven't already figured it out. Today's Mondays with Mason episode's topic is the University of Colorado Buffaloes football team and how Deion has turned that program around. So we're going to go back to a little while to this offseason. In 2022, the Colorado Buffaloes football team was 1-11. They had made the decision to fire their head coach. I forget what his name is. I'm sorry to whoever it is, but they made the decision to fire the coach and turn around the football program. After that, Deion Sanders was the head coach at, I think it's a SWAC school, SWAC. Anyway, it was Jackson State University. It's in Mississippi. I think it's an HBCU school, but he had that program at heights they had never seen before. He had so many recruits there. I remember there was a 5-star recruit that committed to Florida State, switched his commitment to Jackson State just to play for Deion. People love playing for this man. He is so special, and he turned that Jackson State football program around. And a lot after last year, after seeing what Deion did, as the AC kicks on here, but after seeing what Deion did, a lot of Power 5 schools, including Cincinnati, Colorado, and there were others, had inquired about hiring Deion potentially. Deion got offered the job at the University of Colorado. He accepted the job and he gave a very heartfelt speech to the Jackson State football team after he took this job. I could tell it was very emotional for Deion Sanders leaving Jackson State for Colorado, but it was interesting for sure to see what was going on with him. Sorry I had to look there. I just got an email notification on my phone as I filmed, but he went to Colorado. He had a 1-11 record, and he decided to turn that program around. But nobody expected this team to be competitive this year. I had predicted the Colorado Buffaloes to finish 4-8, an improvement from last year, and people had said 4-8 would be a good year for Colorado. Because everybody, as you guys all know, there's a saying out there, and this is one of my favorite parts about Deion Sanders. There's a saying out there that says, Rome wasn't built in a day. We all know this saying, and this saying resonates pretty well. However, when I looked this saying up, the meaning of it, there's a second part to this saying. So we obviously all know the first part of the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day. The second part, though, says, but they were laying bricks every hour. This is what Deion is doing at Colorado. And this is why I'm such a big fan of what Deion has done in Colorado. Like Rome, the Colorado Buffaloes football team that currently is 3-0 wasn't built in a day. However, one man was laying bricks every hour to make sure that this team one day could be a competitor in the Pac-12. That man is Deion Sanders, aka Coates Prime. You can tell I'm already getting excited. I literally have been waiting all week to talk about this topic with you guys because this is such a special story, I feel like. And I was so upset that they almost lost Saturday because I've really been wanting to talk about this topic with you guys, as I've said multiple times now already, but here we are. Deion gets his son to quarterback the team, Shedeur Sanders. Deion also gets a freshman, Travis Hunter, who's been great, to play wide receiver for the team or be a two-way player. Those two men, and some people on the defense, I forget their names, I'm sorry, have completely turned this program around. All summer long, this program has not been talked about. They're projected to be bad, like 2-10, 3-9, 4-8. Now, fast forward to week 1. It's the Colorado Buffaloes at the TCU Horned Frogs. Former conference rivals and will be conference rivals again starting next year. Deion and the Buffaloes are 20.5-point underdogs. TCU is ranked 17th and is coming off a national championship loss to Georgia just a short year ago. Colorado, led by Deion Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, and Travis Hunter. Actually, I apologize for saying Deion Sanders. I'm going to turn this around and make this video a little more fun. We're going to take that part out. I'm going to redo that. The Colorado Buffaloes, led by my man, Coates Prime. That's what I'm going to be calling him the rest of the video, maybe, if I remember. Coates Prime, his son, Shedeur Sanders, and teammate Travis Hunter went into Fort Worth, Texas, and defeated the TCU Horned Frogs 45-42. This win was a statement win. It put Colorado on the map. We're now going into week 2. Coates Prime and the Buffaloes get ready to host another program hoping to turn it around with fixer-upper Matt Rhule. Matt Rhule turned around Temple, made them a competitive team, turned around Baylor, made them a very competitive team. Then he had a brief stint in the NFL with the Carolina Panthers, tried to do what he did in Temple and with Baylor in Carolina in the NFL. It just didn't work out because he lacked a key player at the quarterback position. Last October, Panthers owner David Tepper and Pitt Economics alumni, which is actually what I'm going to Pitt for, hopefully. But David Tepper decided to fire Matt Rhule as Panthers head coach. Rhule, the reason he did this, and I was reading, was to give Rhule an opportunity at a top college job. Matt Rhule did get an opportunity at a top college job in the University of Nebraska. Nebraska hired him to do the same exact thing that Colorado hired Coates Prime to do. So this was a fun game because Matt Rhule and Coates Prime were brought into these programs to do the same thing. So comes September the 9th, week 2, Nebraska, Colorado. Coates Prime gets the job done. Yes, he does. The Buffaloes win. I think it was 24-10 was the final. The Buffaloes are 2-0. College Game Day heads to Boulder, and this is where I thought of this idea to do this Mondays with Mason on the Colorado Buffaloes. Everyone was in Colorado this week. Fox's big noon kickoff, they chose that over Penn State, Illinois, which was the big noon game. But they decided to go to Colorado. College Game Day was there. Everybody in the sports industry and college football are so invested right now on the University of Colorado and Coates Prime because of what he has done. This week, though, unfortunately, Colorado State head coach Jay Norvell took aim at Coates Prime. He said his mom always taught him you don't wear sunglasses at the table, and it's not the best idea, or something like that, to wear sunglasses and a hat at press conferences. Coates Prime responded and said that Norvell made this rivalry now personal. There was so much hype throughout the week. The Rock was on College Game Day to see Coates Prime. when he was in the middle of doing an interview. That was pretty awesome. There's so much love for Coach Prime. And one of the things that excited me the most was Coach Prime had said, either, I doubt it's this semester because it's so early. So last semester, I think spring 2023 semester, the football team GPA was a 3.5. This is all the Coach Prime effect. So now you're 2-0. You're coming off a year with a 3.5 GPA. How excited should this Colorado fan base be? They're very excited for Coach Prime. But Coach Prime has been on all these channels doing interviews, and he has sounded great. His greatness continued on the football field. Although Colorado did not win the game by as much as they should have Saturday night, Coach Prime proved he's the guy. He's the real deal, and he is here and he's going to be around for a long time. The Colorado Buffaloes won 43-35 in overtime after a wild win on Saturday night. The Buffaloes are now 3-0. However, their schedule does not really favor them that much. Saturday night, they head to Eugene, Oregon to take on the Oregon Ducks. Saturday, September 30th, they will host the USC Trojans in Colorado. Those next two games aren't very favorable for Coach Prime, I'm sorry. They also have tilts with Utah, Oregon State, and I think they play at UCLA, maybe, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. And they also, I'm not 100% sure they play Washington, but I think they do. So this Pac-12 is tough. This is going to be a tough year for Deion. 3 more wins, and the Colorado Buffaloes are going bowling. They will defy the odds. 6-6 would be a huge deal for Deion. Or Coach Prime, I'm sorry. If he could get 6 wins, that'd be awesome for him. And that would get them to a bowl. This team will be a playoff contender if Coach Prime stays and continues to build this. So good for the Colorado football program. And now I'm going to conclude with the same exact saying that I began with. I said earlier in this show, Rome wasn't built in a day. I'm going to rephrase that or change the wording of it. The new wording is, the Colorado Buffaloes football program wasn't built in a day. The second part I had mentioned was, but they were laying bricks every hour. The second part of my news saying is, but Coach Prime was laying bricks every hour. The bricks he has laid have been this. Ignited a fan base, got the team to 3-0, defeated the national runner-up in their home opener, has a star quarterback in Shedeur Sanders, and a star wideout and two-way position player in Travis Hunter, or I think that's his name, yeah. No, I can't believe I forgot that name, but I'm sorry about that, buddy, but hopefully he's okay and he's able to play, because I did hear he was hurt, so hopefully he's okay and able to play. He has that team with a 3.5 GPA now. He has laid the bricks. He didn't build this team in a day. But now the Colorado football empire is beginning. And if Coach Prime stays, which I hope he does, it's going to be around for a long, long time. And Coach Prime has done this with one thing and one reason why I respect Coach Prime and why he has become one of my favorite coaches in college football. He is very cocky and arrogant about one thing. And typically I don't love being cocky or being arrogant, or try not to be, and I don't like it when people are. But this one thing he is cocky and arrogant with, I absolutely love it. And I wish more people are like this. Coach Prime is very cocky and arrogant and talks a lot about his faith in God. I love him for this. As you probably know by now, I have a lot of faith in God. I am a Roman Catholic, and God has been a very impactful part of my life. My religion is near and dear to me. It's been very impactful. To see somebody who values religion so much, who has brought on the culture of God and faith in God and positivity to a football program, and has turned a team that was 1-11 just last year into 3-0 and climbing this year, and is already starting to defy the expectations with faith in God, with all the positivity. I'm coming close to crying here just talking about this. This story is so special to me. This Colorado Buffaloes football team is so special to me. My Pitt Panthers may be 1-2, not very good this year. Lost the backyard brawl, lost the River City rivalry. And whether your team's like my Pitt Panthers, or even undefeated like Georgia, Penn State, Ohio State, I could go on and on. Regardless if your team is a playoff contender or if not, this should be a team and a story that brings us together as one, unites us, makes us stronger, and provides an example of what a good, well-ran college football team can be. So God bless Coach Prime. God bless the Colorado Buffaloes football team. Best of luck next weekend in Oregon. That's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was so special to me and so personal. I'm so glad I got to do this one. Have a good day, everybody. Take care. Stay safe. Have faith in God. Peace. And remember, here we go Steelers tonight. Beat the Browns.